Hey, good morning everyone. So this should be pretty chill this morning, just me. I'm not really doing anything crazy, I'm just doing some painting. So this is kind of my gold standard for what I want a lot of my guys to look like. I need to, but what I'm thinking is I need to work on the armor, because essentially what I'm doing a couple different paint schemes and couple different primers, where this guy is all contrast paints, and this guy's all, you know, regular paint. So I like the I like how easy and quick this was. You know, the contrast paints are really nice, but the armor here looks like a deeper, nicer black tone, and it's also a lot shinier, which I think actually kind of adds to the, like, I don't know, kind of that sleek Space Marine armor look, where this one just looks a little bit duller. It looks more of like a gray than a black, and it's more of a matte black, so it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really have that sheen. So yeah, I'm gonna try a couple different things out, but so yeah, this guy's kind of the gold standard. He's still a test model. He's still not like perfect. Like, I could still do a lot of other stuff on him, but this is kind of what I'm aiming for. So, but good morning to everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna be pretty quiet this morning. I'm not gonna talk too much, but I figured got to get that time in, got to get those reps, you know, got to get the video out, and yeah, I also need to glue down these swords. These chain swords broke off in my case the other day, so I gotta fix these bad boys. But man, people do not like my Deadpool and Wolverine takes. That is fair, but I think we're going to be talking about it tonight. Man, my hands are shaky this morning. What the hell? does this not want to stay? Alright, I'm just gonna leave it like that and hope it doesn't move. Yeah. Sketchy. Alright. Josh said, well, Max, I watched it a second time yesterday and I started dozing off. Josh, I'm actually going to watch it again today and take some notes. Because I do actually want to come at this at like at a more like, I don't know, more nuanced take, and a more, like good faith. Because I probably went in there with like my own preconceived notions and biases to be like, I fucking hate all this shit right now, so why should this be any different? So I'm going to watch it again today, give it another good faith take, and if I like it, I like it. If not, no worries. Cajun says, I enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine, but it's not as good as the first one. Yeah, no, I think that's what I find a lot of people will have in terms of like their reviews, is that they're going to enjoy it and they're going to like it, but it's definitely not going to be as good as that first Deadpool movie, which is totally fine. But man, I hear so many people saying that like Deadpool and Wolverine is great, and it's like, okay, hang on a second. You can say that you enjoyed it. You can say like my experience was great. But to say that Deadpool and Wolverine is great, no, it's not a good film. Like, it's not a great movie. And I'm not like a movie reviewer. I'm not, what do you call it? Like, I'm no connoisseur or anything. But even I can be like, ugh, I couldn't turn my brain off. There's just so many things wrong. Tara says, meh, opinions are just your own. We can't all like or hate the same things. 100%. I agree. Cajun, yes, we will talk about the movie tonight on Max's Man Cave. We should have Josh. I think Vex will be there as well, because I want to get Vex's opinion. She seemed to not enjoy it as well. And then Drew and Aaron should be there. Every now and then he has work, and so I'll check in with him and see if he has work tonight or not. So we'll see. Hopefully this guy is a little bit better. Oh, that's why. It's gotta go like this. Now we're talking. Let's get to some painting. Yeah, Josh, unfortunately the girls aren't joining tonight. I didn't want to bug Kara because Kara just lost her pup. So chat, if you guys didn't know, unfortunately Kara did have to say goodbye to Gus, her little pupper. They had to put him down this past week, so I didn't want to bug her. X-Ray is sick this morning, and Steph, I think, is still sleeping in. So I am just doing my own thing this morning, which is totally fine. I don't expect the girls to be here every weekend. That's a that's a big ask. And plus, like, they have Sunday Funday with Az and Quarter Black Garrett and all those guys, so they do the video game live streams after this. But yeah, so they aren't able to be here. It's great compared to modern MCU stuff coming out now. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, do we want to do... Yeah. I think we'll just do this medium one. And we'll try the contrast out first. Stephanie hasn't been on her late night streams. Hope she's okay. Oh no. That's a bummer. Yeah, I hope she's alright as well. I'll have to check in on her. Lewis says Sunday ruined. Oh no. I know. I'm sorry, dude. But it's just more of a quiet, chill day, so yeah, it is gut-wrenching losing a pup. So, you know, taking a weekend off is absolutely worth it after losing an animal or a pet. It can be just excruciating. Feels like a family member, you know? So I think what I'll most likely do is like start with one of these legs and see if I can do the same leg on a different model, with a different paint, with a different base coat, and then see if I can get a different result or a similar result, but with a different primer, and then different base coat. So like, for example, I think this guy, you know, I'm using contrast paint, so I'm doing the contrast black Legion, but I'm gonna try using Abaddon black for maybe, why is that not focusing? There we go. I'll probably use Abaddon black on one of the gray primers, so let me see if I can grab another model real quick. I'll be right back. Now we're talking. We'll see if we can do any damage with this guy. There we go. All right. So yeah, while this dries, we'll see if we can do any work with this guy. Does this not want to focus? There we go. Orc Gasmatron says, "Hey Max, have you tried first painting a coat of Basilicanum Gray and then a second coat of Black Templar? Lovely, rich black results." I've not tried that yet. I don't know if I have. So this is a primer of Mechanicus Gray, and this usually gives me the best results that I've found previously. But I tried using the contrast paints because they gave like a really nice, dark, rich, especially with like a black ink wash. They gave a pretty good result on some Chaos Knights that I had for Warhammer Fantasy, or as they would call it, Warhammer Old World now. But yeah, I tried that, and it looks super, super great on them. So I was like, maybe my Black Templars will benefit from some of these contrast paints. But I don't know, their armor is different. It just feels a lot more different than the medieval kind of fantasy looking armor, so I think I might want more of a shine to it as opposed to the duller matte type of armor, but we'll see. How's it going, Psychotic Mongoose? Jonathan, Stevie, great to see you guys in the chat. And then, yeah, reached out, or I saw you, Tara and Lewis and Cajun and everyone else. But yeah, it's just super chill this morning. But I appreciate y'all being here. Enjoy the music, and I put up a right here, right there. There's a little screen that has some Space Marine footage from it. So hopefully that's kind of cool to watch. Never played the game, but heard good things. And as Duncan Rhodes always says, too thin coats. So I'm just kind of going over this guy with just a general generic base layer. And then we'll probably see what some Vallejo model color can do after that. So I need like a little monitor or like a little alarm that tells me like, hey, the model isn't in view, or like the model is out of focus or something. It'll just notify me, because I'll look up and I'll look at the camera and I'll be like, crap, it's not in focus. Man, that didn't do anything. Jonathan says, no ladies today. I knew Kara wasn't going to be here because of Gus. Always hard to lose a pet. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't reach out to the girls because it felt inappropriate for me to ask them to come hang out this morning, especially after the loss of Gus. So I just wanted to be respectful and give her some time some time off. And X-Ray's been feeling kind of sick, and I haven't heard from Steph, so yeah, just, I don't expect them to be here every weekend, and that's totally fine, so. But I hope they're all feeling okay. Yeah, because I think, I haven't really heard much from Steph, so I hope that she's all right. And I checked in on Kara when I heard the news about Gus. And then X-Ray texted us this morning about not feeling too well, so. Josh, I appreciate it. He says, or you can send me the link. I'll help read comments, talk to you about your gaming yesterday, and tell you when you're out of focus. That actually sounds like a pretty good proposition, but I unfortunately will have to pass it up. I don't mind sending you the link, brother, but this is through a different software, so it's a little bit different than StreamYards. The other thing too is you're gonna come on my show tonight, so I'm not gonna force you to come on 2 shows in one day. That's a lot. So, but I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. But I will say, as far as gaming went yesterday, I can talk about that. It was kind of a nightmare. I haven't played a game in 6 months, like maybe even longer. And the last time I played, I was playing Combat Patrol. And for you guys that may not know, Combat Patrol is like, what they've tried to do is Combat Patrol is like, you can buy a box of a Combat Patrol ready unit, put it on the tabletop, and play. Like, they want it to be kind of the Warhammer 40k game, but miniaturized. So it's just like kind of shrunken down. The thing is that Combat Patrol is just a completely different game. I thought that Combat Patrol would easily kind of transfer over to the Warhammer 40k main game, but there are so many more rules in the 40k game that I just kind of got like overly flustered and kind of like I was not ready to, like, I came in with the preconceived notion of, yeah, this will just be like Combat Patrol, but there were so many things I just did not account for, that I just wasn't ready for. And so it was it was honestly really shitty, because I got really frustrated, and I shouldn't have been so upset. But we were playing a 1,000-point 40k game, which is not crazy big. Like, 1,000 points is not, like, you can play games up to like 2,000, 5,000 points, right? So 1,000 points is not a big deal. But I thought, hey, 1,000 points is going to be simple. It's not going to be too crazy. But man, I just got my ass handed to me because I didn't know what I was doing. So I was like, fuck this, man. I'm not even gonna, like, we got halfway through the game, maybe not even, and I was, like, both my tanks had been shot out. A couple of my units had been completely, like, demoralized, or they had been battle shocked. I was like, so what the fuck is the point of playing anymore when I'm just, I don't even know how to play the game. So I was like, I'm done. And so I just kind of threw my hands in the air and was like, I'm not going to play anymore. Because I need to learn the game. I need to know how to actually, being out of the game for 6 months and then coming into it and having it be different than what Combat Patrol was, and playing against someone who's more experienced was just like, I wasn't expecting that. So it was a little frustrating, but at least now I know, okay, I need to do my research, because like the Warhammer game is not something that you can just kind of pick up. Like I need to memorize my units. I need to know how to secure them with certain point values. I need to learn how to utilize them on the tabletop. I need to know how to complete all the different phases of the game, because essentially what was happening is like I would table a unit, and then I'd go, all right, I'm finished with my movement phase, now I'm going to shoot. And I'd go to shoot something, and then I'd be like, oh, what is this weapon? What is this weapon's statistics, right? So I'm like searching through the book, or I'm like searching through all these papers. So most of the time, my head was just in the book. So I'm like, how far can this move, or how far can this shoot, or what is the damage or the attack profile? What is the damage profile? So I'm just like looking up all these statistics. So the whole game, I just felt like I wasn't having fun. It just felt like I was shuffling through papers and frantically moving through the core rulebook or my codex, and I'm just like, this isn't even fun anymore, because you're just constantly in the rulebook, just trying to figure out what units you can utilize and how to utilize them the best, and then I'd try and do something and it'd be like, well, no, you can't do that because you already did this. It's like, oh god, just end me, just end the game, end it all, because every time I'd try and do something, I'd be like, oh, well, I guess I can't do that then because I already forfeited that right because I moved this way, or I advanced this way, or did something like that. So it was really frustrating, and I should have just, I need to learn the game, and that's just it. So yeah, wasn't my best day, but that's all right. I would love to be super great at it and proficient at it, but I feel like I'm much better at building and painting and stuff. So all right, let's try some Vallejo. Oh, Josh, don't let me tell you about the singles night I went to last night for my church. That's another great experience that was just... Talk about frustrating. Singles night. Exactly, Corey. I need a hug from Tina. That would do the trick. Plenty of Tinas out here in California, that's for sure. You know, if this... Oh, no. I was going to say, you know, if this dries well, this might actually look pretty good, but I see it drying already, and it's kind of leaving some streaks. So I think we're going to go back to the old ways. So let's see. I think that's the move. I think that's the move right there. Cajun says, I'm just making a joke, but sounds like you had quite the weekend. Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been great. Tina says you take that back right now. There may be many lady boys, but there's only one Tina. Well, Tina knows how to get the job done. That's for sure. So you're right about that. There's only one Tina. Only one Tina Feeder. I can't get over that avatar too. That is too funny. That's wild. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. Ah! Yeah. Seems a bit streaky, but you know what? That's alright. Maybe the black ink will do a better job. Because even if you guys can tell, like, this is a contrast paint red, and you can kind of see the streaks on the red there. Some of like the brush strokes, but I think another coat of that'll probably do. You know what was funny? I didn't mention earlier, but what was funny about the singles night is so I basically I paid for this event that was a singles night for through my church. It was like $10. It wasn't a big deal, but they were providing like drinks and food or whatever. And so I just left the game store. I just left Games Workshop because I just finished up, playing Warhammer. And, the game is primarily like you're rolling a ton of dice based off of what units you have. And so it was a lot of rolling dice all day. And so then when I got to the singles night, their like icebreaker, like to, be mingling with people and like be at the tables or whatever, was a dice game. It was, I forget what it was called. Bunko? Yeah, Bunko. Never played before. Didn't even know what it was, but I was just laughing because I was like, oh my god, I have to more dice. I already wasted my luck on this on these Warhammer games, so I'm not gonna do well at this Bunko game. But AARPs? Wait, what? What is AARP? Remind me again what the hell that is? I've heard that before. Why am I a retard? Why am I forgetting what that means? AARP. I'd look it up on Google, but alas, I must continue to paint. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Terra Crystal says, single events. Desperate women looking for tall, successful men to get with, but no men can meet their standards, so most men avoid them. I wouldn't say that was the case, Terra. I don't think the women or the men there were, listen, it wasn't for me. It was kind of sad, because like singles events are what they are. It's single people that haven't really found luck in the world, and so already it's an awkward environment because you're kind of like, man, we're a bunch of losers, huh? But I mean, I didn't find success with it, but that's okay because not everything is going to is going to be successful. Josh says, was it just the dice element? No cringe moments with single ladies? No. The thing is that the average age was like 50 plus. So American Association of Retired People. Thank you, Paul. That's what it is. Damn it. I knew it was something like that. I mean, so I guess it makes sense why they played Bunko. Because I was like, isn't that like... I saw it on the table and I was like, isn't this for like older people? Which, I mean, fuck, I'm 31, so I shouldn't be talking, but like still. Is the first... Josh, you're killing me this morning. ARP is like the first step to assisted living. Oh, man. That's funny. Orc, no one else is hobbying today, unfortunately. It's just me this morning. You're stuck with me. Sorry, brother. But, yeah, so that definitely makes sense then why... But I don't know, man, the freaking... The promotion for it was not like... Hey, all you, 50s and 60s, come out and to our single night, right? It was promoted, like the email that I got was just like singles night, single events night. So I was like, hey, well, I guess I fall into that, right? And if I keep complaining, everyone keeps saying that I keep complaining about, oh, dating in California sucks. So I was like, all right, well then let me put my money where my mouth is and actually try to go do something about it. And it just, it wasn't for me. But if I don't try it, or at least go, then I can't say that I didn't at least give it a shot. But man, I can't tell you how many times I wanted to like turn around. Like I'm in the car like 5 minutes away from the, like, my GPS is telling me I'm getting close to the, recreation center or whatever, and I'm just like, dude, you know how easy it would be for me to just turn around to just not go. And I was like, I could just leave. I could just go home. Not go through with this, and just say, you know what? I'll find her later. Or I'll do it again some other time, or puss out. But the whole car ride, I was just like, okay, how do I get myself out of this? How do I talk myself out? Let's do his helmet. Let's see. Also, not a loser, having standards, understanding your happiness, and not settling is important. I know too many men who are miserable in their relationships, says Josh. Step 2, purchasing a hover-round. Hover-round? Oh, step 2 to assisted living is a hover-round. What the hell's a hover-round? I do not know what that is either. Is that like one of the chairs that you sit in? One of the motor chairs that you see at like Wally World? Wally World. Tara says, I remember my father saying he wished he had stayed single and enjoyed fishing in Alaska every day instead of doing the Christian thing, getting married and having kids. Josh says, I legitimately know people who regret their current relationship but don't leave because they feel stuck or don't want to leave because of their kids. Yeah. Basically, yes, like the chairs at Wally World. Nice. I could, yeah, I could only imagine. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't Wally World chairs bad, but it was definitely a shock. I wasn't really sure where to go from there. Alright, let's do some inking and then we'll call it a day. Man, it is crazy how difficult it is to get a good, solid armor foundation. Like a good, like a, I don't know. Black is very difficult because you can highlight it, but then it kind of turns out looking like gray more than black. I don't know. Black and white are pretty difficult when it comes to... Or you can just be super simple and just base coat the whole thing with Abaddon black and then you're like, oh, I'm done, right? But, I don't know, there's a specific look that I want to try and achieve, and it's always interesting to try and do new things with different paints and different techniques and washes and inks and all that good stuff. Contrasts. Let's see, did I ever ink this guy? right. To clarify, well, Josh says, to clarify, that's not to say don't get into relationships, just know your worth and communicate. And in the other end of the spectrum, we have to acknowledge the loneliness of coming home alone every day. Yes, I have my dog, and I'm okay with being alone, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't want a relationship. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the tough part that we kind of have to balance is like, you'd love nothing more to be with someone and to share moments in life and to, be in, like you said, in relationship with someone. But knowing how to be alone and how to enjoy being with yourself and knowing that, there's a time for everything. Because then once you do find that person, you won't really get that alone time anymore. Like that alone time that you used to have then just kind of falls by. It just kind of goes away, especially if you have kids or you adopt or whatever it may be. You pretty much once you get into that relationship that is like your forever relationship, that alone time becomes very rare. So you almost kind of have to enjoy it while you can. Kids are half the reason I don't date. I don't want children. Yeah, Tara says, kids are half the reason I don't date. I don't want children. Hey, that's fair, man. Everyone, I remember when I was like 24, 25, maybe even like till 20, I was like 26 or 7. I still was like, maybe I just want like one kid. I wasn't really bought on the whole kids thing, but now I recognize how important they are and how purposeful they are. Or Gasmatron says, what highlights do you use, Max? Honestly, I usually just dry brush to get some highlights. But the dry brushing, like I said, kind of turns black armor into gray. So sometimes I'll do an edge highlight with silver, just to kind of make the black armor not as gray but more metallic. So I'll do like a really bright kind of shiny silver on some of the edges or some of the rivets and try doing it that way. And I think that works pretty well. It just depends, like I'll probably do that on character models and not necessarily like every single troop option, because that will take forever. So for the normal troops, I'll probably just do no highlights, but at least just kind of a regular, base coat with a nice wash, like ink wash or something. But back to Bunko. I learned to play at a young age because my grandparents, a lot of retired women, will meet up for lunch and play somewhere, and it's a ton of fun. Just saying. I mean, Bunko it was fun. Like, it was goofy, but because there's zero skill to it, right? There's zero skill. It is how many times can you roll the dice and get 3 of a kind, or how many times can you roll the dice and get that certain number. So it's really just a game of odds. I agree, Josh. I think you'd be a good dad as well. That alone time definitely becomes rare, Josh says. However, I do think it's needed. Plan alone time at least once a week. Plan time with your friends, whether your spouse is joining or not. Just don't be shady. Don't be a shady hoe that cheats. 100%. Well, guys, it's 8:30. We only did an hour today. I just wanted to come on here and just pop in, say hi, paint a little bit. Kind of a weird morning because we didn't have the girls, and it's just a simple one today. We're not doing anything crazy, but thank you guys for hanging out. We will most likely be on tonight. No, you know what? We will be on tonight, not most likely. We will be on tonight talking Deadpool and Wolverine for Max's Man Cave. We will also talk about the recent Hall H. Fuck Hall H, man, and fuck the MCU. I'm so tired of this bullshit. we'll talk about the recent MCU castings of like Robert Downey Jr. as every character in the MCU. So we'll talk about that. We'll also probably talk about Gina's case going to Discovery. I think that'll be pretty cool. And yeah, we'll talk about some other stuff. So, but yeah, chat, you guys are the best. Thank y'all for hanging out. Sorry that it was more of a quiet one today, but you know what? Every now and then you just gotta say, you gotta get into the rhythm of just being like, I just gotta do it, you know? Regardless of time or whether you're feeling it or not. So, but yes, have a blessed day, y'all. And I look forward to seeing you all tonight on Max's Man Cave. Real quick, Riskit, I love this, man. I think this is really interesting. Riskit says, I could write a novel on this topic. The Lord calls us to be fruitful and second to multiply. If you are on your fruitful purpose, a relationship is a blessing, not a burden. And you know what, Riskit? I have come to realize that. And, you know, I think in my early 20s, I probably thought differently, but at this point in time, I'm like, I would love nothing more than to be like a father and a husband. That sounds so awesome right now. Like that sounds like a purpose, you know what I mean? Like that sounds pretty freaking amazing. Josh says, Max, have a good afternoon. I'm going to clean and work out, and I'll see you tonight to invade the cave. Nice, man. Well, hey, have a good workout, dude. I am not working out today, so good on you for working out, because I am going to be a lazy hoe. But all right, guys, have a great rest of the day, and I will talk to you all tonight. See you later.